All right, guys, so keys to your success. Let's just dive into this. Number one, patience, perseverance, proficiency, not perfection. Patience, perseverance, and proficiency, not perfection. So the Bible says in Hebrews 10:36, "For you have need of endurance, so that when you have done the will of God, you may receive what is promised." Whoa, how many of you want to receive what is promised? Hey man, you feel like you have a gift inside you. You have maybe prayed, you've maybe desired to learn to play the guitar well. And like that's what proficiency is. It's like, hey, if you're learning a language, you can communicate, it's called fluency. Well, in other stuff, it could be called proficiency. So how do you get there without endurance? How can you finish a race? How can you win at anything in life without patience and perseverance? Without the first two, you're not going to have the third one, which is proficiency. When you're first starting out, I'll just give you a little story from my life. When I first started, holding the guitar, I had a guitar which is actually called a dobro. It's like a form of a steel guitar, and it's high action. In other words, the strings are higher than a normal guitar off the fretboard. You have to press down harder. My dad's not a guitar player. He didn't know that. My mom was with the Lord, and usually you play that with a slide. It's like a totally different thing. So I started off on the hardest guitar to probably play. And my fingers, man, really hurt and actually started bleeding. It's like crazy carnage, But anyways, actually it helped me a lot. So then my uncle or somebody said to me, "Hey, you got to get a different guitar, man. That's way too high action." But because I had started on the harder one, my muscles and the calluses on my fingers actually got strong quicker. And I was like hardcore. I wanted to learn the guitar so bad. Worse than anything else that I'd ever done in my life till then. It was probably the first thing that I did because I wanted to do it. Totally. It was nothing to do with anything, obligation of anything. Even when I played sports, it was like all my friends are playing soccer, so I'll play soccer. I ended up having fun with it, but it wasn't like my dream, Guitar was my dream. Maybe that's where you're at. So I was like intense. So my teacher said, "You got to learn how to press down on the strings, So I would do it like as long as I could, just going through the pain. My fingers are bleeding all over the guitar. I was like intense. But then I'd obviously have to like wash my fingers, put Band-Aids on, and I couldn't play the next day. So that wasn't really like what I would recommend for you. I would recommend that you get a guitar that's, a beginner guitar. Yamaha usually has beginner ones. Go to your friendly neighborhood guitar store and say, "Hey, those guys they're working there usually because they love guitars." I mean, they're usually like hair metal guys, whatever, but they're there, they love it, man. So I've always had a good experience in pretty much every guitar store I've ever been to. And just say, "Hey, I need a beginner guitar, man. I'm just starting." And just don't have any shame. You got to start somewhere, or you can look online and stuff like that too. But sometimes it's cool to go to the store and see, you can see all kinds of guitars, man. It's just cool. It's just fun. At least for me. I'm obviously into guitars though, right? So patience, perseverance, and proficiency, not perfection, guys. Check this out. A quote from Rich Mullins, one of my favorite Christian musicians who passed away in the 90s. You got to read his story. It's pretty wild, but he has some beautiful, amazing music, and he said, "It's not the music that moves you, it's the Spirit of God that moves you." Kind of an interesting point and he was, many people say he was a child prodigy and a musical genius. He knew theory, he knew everything inside and out, but he was like mostly self-taught, Talk about like Bach and those guys. He was like almost at that level, So he was kind of focusing in that quote on, it's not the music, it's the Spirit of God. Music is a spiritual thing, man. It has started and stopped wars, you could almost say. It's a language. It's a thing that will move you in a certain direction, or will comfort you, or there's a whole line of work you can get into. You can get a degree and I don't know if they do licensing or how it works, but you can become a music therapist and go into hospitals, hospice, even with kids with severe disabilities and stuff. Man, I worked in this school around the corner from my dad where I grew up, and they were severe on the worst end of the spectrum, if you will, of autism and debilitating illnesses, and man, it was like very eye-opening experience. I had to do service project in school, and I said, hey, can I bring my guitar? And they were like, absolutely. And I saw with my own eyes, that was one of the things that showed me, whoa, this is more than just like me playing the Beatles or something. Because before I really got touched by God, I was into all kind of stuff, okay? And I would play a lot of stuff that I would not play today, okay? But that's what I was into at that time. But I would play music from church, like some praise and worship at this school, which was not even Christian. But I had favor with these teachers. Were like, yeah, do whatever you want, almost. It was like, awesome. So I would play these just real basic songs, Christian songs. And the kids, some of them, they're rocking, they're running around the room. They would scream every 5 seconds, or they would just sit there and be like, almost like a vegetable state, When I would play these little songs about God, man, they would start to wake up. They would be like watching me, you could see. And the ones that were rocking would just either completely stop rocking, or just, you could tell like, whoa, they're just calming down now. Man, I was so moved by that whole thing. And that's what you have to look forward to, guys. It's not about, hey, I learned the E chord. Watch me play the E chord, or like, I'm going to compose this symphony, I'm going to be this famous thing. If that's what you want to do, hey, go for it. But for me, I learned at the very beginning that music is a gift, not just for us. It does become a blessing for us. I have fun when I play music, when I record and write songs. Some songs I've never released, it's just like my own thing, my creativity with God and I. But it's a help also for others. It can be used to help other people. So the patience, the perseverance is for a purpose. And the devotion, the love for the guitar, the love for the music is actually going to get you through the times where your fingers hurt, or I feel like I can't do this once, Daniel's trying to teach me this thing, man, and I just can't get it. You come to the Zoom call, your like hair is all over. You're like, I don't know how to do this. Please help me. You feel like you're going crazy, or you just feel like you just can't get that G chord right. It just doesn't sound right. Whatever it is, the devotion is going to get you through to proficiency, where you won't even remember, how difficult it was in the beginning. I'm like forcing myself to remember how it was because I want to share with you guys. But anyways, that's one key to your success, guys. Patience, perseverance through the difficulties will bring proficiency and ultimately progress. Okay? Let's go to the next key, guys. Check it out.